The best place to work.
I love working here.
I feel very blessed.
I love it here.
I look forward to coming to work every day, being a part of this team.
Like a family away from home.
Where everyone feels like everybody knows their name.
A city that supports you. We see that with our benefits.
A pension, vacation days, job security.
Being able to be heard.
We feel valued. We feel respected.
Lee Summit is a very progressive city.
It's growing, it's thriving.
We have this drive towards not just doing a job, but doing it with a spirit of excellence.
I had the opportunity to continue to grow, regardless of 30 plus years doing this kind of work.
It's more than just dollars and cents.
We're here really to give back.
Providing a service to better a community.
To go out and serve people.
To be a part of something bigger than yourself. If I would have known what I know now, years ago, I would have been here much sooner.
Every time you turn on a tap, high-quality water is ready. But where does it come from? In Lee Summit, water flows from two trusted sources, the Missouri River and its surrounding aquifer. This water is collected and treated in the cities of Independence and Kansas City. In Independence, the Courtney Bend Water Treatment Plant operates 42 water wells. These wells reach 85 to 125 feet underground, drawing water up from the Missouri River aquifer, an underground water source that naturally filters water through layers of soil and rock. The facility filters, cleans, and softens the water before pumping up to 7.5 million gallons a day to Lee Summit. In Kansas City, the KC Water Treatment Plant draws water from the aquifer and the surface of the Missouri River. It then filters, cleans, and softens the water before pumping up to 25 million gallons per day to Lee Summit. In Lee Summit, Water Utilities controls the flow of these sources into the local system. Advanced software monitors the entire system, including 3 pumping stations and 8 water storage tanks, which maintain the water's pressure as it moves through 639 miles of water mains, carrying it to your home and the homes of more than 100,000 citizens. Water utility staff collect samples from throughout the system and send them for extensive laboratory testing, ensuring your water is safe, meeting or exceeding state and federal standards. When you turn on a tap, you're accessing a vast system spanning hundreds of miles, each foot carefully planned and strategically maintained. A system that leverages innovation to harness nature, turning a vital life source into an ordinary convenience, bringing you safe, reliable, high-quality water 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. To learn more about Lee Summit Water, visit lswater.net.
Traditionally, we think as police officers, those responding to law enforcement needs within the community. But honestly, we are there to serve our citizens, and our citizens do go into crisis. They do have mental health crises, and we're being called to those scenes on a regular basis. In order to help serve those citizens better, we did initiate the Crisis Intervention Team Program. These are officers that are specially trained to de-escalate crisis situations. Recently, we've brought co-responders onto the scene, licensed qualified mental health professionals housed within our police department, and they respond with those officers directly to those scenes where a crisis is occurring so they can interact with that citizen and get them the help they need right there on that scene.
The co-responders are either bachelor or master level in a behavioral health related field. They wear plain clothes, they don't carry weapons or anything like that.
I have a police radio that I listen to all day. Listen for, those key words: mental health, behavioral health, crisis.
There's a lot of officers that just call for me. I have my own radio number.
I also have the ability to self-dispatch to them and say 982 is en route.
Officers en route, 914, Armstrong.
So typically I arrive after they've made it safe. I'll make contact and get kind of the rundown, and then I just kind of jump right in.
I'm like, hey, my name's Allison. I'm a mental health professional. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to take you to jail or arrest you.
Sometimes all a person needs is a voice, someone neutral, someone outside that, can listen. I do a lot of safety planning, including family, their support network, who's close to you. If they're home alone, who can come over and hang out with you today? Can we lock away your sharps? Can we put up your meds? Do you need meds? Can we get you over to the urgent care to get you assessed for your medications? Some of them also are like, oh, I'm so glad you came. This made me feel so much better.
Our main goal as the co-responders is to, one, get people connected to the services that they need, and also divert from emergency rooms and jails.
And they almost get a different view of the police responding. That lets me know you care and the officers care.
Please, how can we help you?
My husband
In 2020, we had 722 mental health related calls for service. 2022, by that time, 1,479. These mental health related calls for service are increasing. How we're responding to that is increasing the number of crisis intervention team officers we have available, as well as the number of co-responders we have available to respond on these calls.
So what I think is important for the community to know about the co-responder program is that we're here, we exist. All you have to do when you call 911 is ask for us. You know, say, hey, I want a co-responder to respond to this crisis, and we'll go. I was really struggling about 8 years ago on my personal journey with mental health, and I met some amazing social workers and amazing programs that have helped me get to where I am today. I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. We want to help, and that's what we love to do.
So I had a client, we got a call, she had some suicidal ideations, and she really felt that she had nobody. And and getting to know her story and getting to know who comes around and sees you, well, then we found a support person and they responded immediately. And we made a plan. I called back and checked on her in an hour, and then I checked on her in 2 hours. We were able to get her into the additional services to where she talks to someone every week or more. I just took a person that really just thought they had nobody and nobody would show up for them, and show them you do. And you'll be amazed who is in your corner if you just simply say, I need a little help.
It's member level. Thank you, Mayor. Great presentation, Ryan. Thank you. Is there any indicator that shows, are we supporting a need?
You know, they talk about like gym rats, kids that grew up with their dads that were coaches. Like I was a city hall rat. My dad, Tom Lovell, was hired as the Parks Administrator in 1978 and spent 40 years in public service here in Lee Summit. I would go up on the weekends when he was working, and I'd run around and play and do things, and I didn't know what he was doing at the time, but I just knew that was part of our weekend routine some days, was to go up and hang out at City Hall. Being part of a city from a young age to now in my adult life, you reap so many benefits from that. The people you know, you care more for something that you've been a part of. My wife and I knew we wanted to raise a family. Just trying to find a community that we thought we could raise our children in, that was good to me. And it just felt like the right move as we were deciding on a city to come back to. Fortunate to have started a business in 2018. I founded Level Insurance Group, and we are a business insurance brokerage. So we help businesses procure insurance. Decided to throw our flag in the ground here in Lee Summit, and it's grown. I also have this passion for learning and curiosity, and I started a podcast series. So I really enjoy this opportunity where I sit down with business owners and tell their story, and get this out to other people in hopes that maybe it betters their life and gives them some inspiration or something. It's going to be a really exciting time, and obviously this city's in my blood. My dad's been a part of it for a long time, so I'm really excited. Thank you all. A lot of people would say I was crazy, right? So why do you throw your hand up and subject yourself to going into city politics? I think, especially as I've gotten older, I just felt, maybe a civic duty, like a responsibility to say, hey, this city's been great to me. Here's a way that I can give back and take some of my skills and put them to work for the people of this city. I wanted to bring a different, maybe way of thinking and take some of my business acumen and see areas that it may apply to how we develop and grow this community, and just give a different perspective. One of our biggest challenges, but also one of our biggest opportunities, is how do we develop and grow this community? We don't want to grow too fast, but we want to grow at a pace that helps support, who and what we are as a community. So, we've got a lot of opportunities, whether that be through development or parks. We've got a lot of land coming on board. So I just think it's important, like It's a challenge, but it's also our greatest opportunity, and so we just got to be smart how we do that. It's just asking some different questions. Like I'm one that I'm not contrarian for contrarian's sake. What I am is someone will tell me something, and then I want to get to that position with them by just asking thoughtful questions along the way. And then if I can get there, then I feel like we've answered everything we can to move that forward versus, hey, here's kind of how we've done it. I'm never the, this is how we do it, this is how we've always done it, and this is how we'll continue to do it. Office of Council Member for District 2. All of my practical experience has put me in this position to serve, and I just raised my hand and said I want to do that. For which I was elected on April 5th, 2022. I feel this obligation to carry this legacy that my dad did, my family did, and then giving my kids an environment to grow up in that makes them want to come back. My kids have started rec sports through the Parks and Recreation system, and I'm watching them play soccer on this sport field that, you know, my dad helped develop. And my dad's sitting there with me, right? I mean, that's the stuff that really matters in life.
Chair, you're good to go.
Okay. We will call to order the City of Lee Summit's Legislative Intergovernmental Relationship Committee meeting for Monday, March 23rd, 2026. Could I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Carlisle. Vice Chair Funk.
Here.
Councilmember Shields.
Here.
Mayor Baird. And Councilmember Pryor.
Here.
Thank you. I know no changes to the agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Chair,
Go ahead, Mia.
I motion to approve the agenda, please.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Pryor, second by Councilmember Shields. Could I get a vote, please?
Councilmember Shields.
Aye.
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Councilmember Pryor.
Aye.
Thank you. No public comments, I assume.
No, none that I've received.
Okay, we will move on to our first item of business, and that is approval of the February 9th, 2026 Legislative and Intergovernmental Relations Committee action letter.
Chair, I move to approve the action letter as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Shields, a second by Councilmember Pryor. Could I get a vote, please?
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Councilmember Shields.
Aye.
Councilmember Pryor.
Aye.
Thank you. And the action letter is approved. We will move on to item B, presentation from our lobbyist.
Excuse me.
Second. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
A little bit, we won't do any extreme close-ups, but I want you to be able to see that we're in the room here. Morning, everybody. Nice to be on with all of you. John Hensley, Zach Pollock, Versa Governmental Strategies here in Jefferson City. Thanks for having us. I have to say I'm not super comfortable or familiar attending this meeting while not sitting in my vehicle in a parking lot in some strange city, but we'll try to get through this. Yeah, so we are now back beginning the first week after spring break here in Jefferson City. Legislative spring break was last week. 10 weeks down, 8 weeks to go for the Missouri General Assembly. Also, I mean, we really enjoyed our visit to DC last week with several of you and are pleased to see that at this point, and fingers crossed, our first efforts up there appear to be in good shape. So we'll stay on top of all that and stay in touch with you all as the federal items proceed. So deadline for filing bills in the Missouri General Assembly was 3 weeks ago. So that has stopped mercifully. A total of 3,153 bills bills and resolutions wound up being filed this year. That was 1,939 in the House and 1,214 in the Senate. At this point, 4 bills have been truly agreed and finally passed and sent to the governor. And that includes a supplemental appropriations bill for 2026, the current fiscal year, that the governor's already signed. So 3 policy bills have gotten all the way through at this point. I think it's pretty similar to last year. I don't know if it was exactly 3 last year. I know 1 that got all the way through. And I suspect there were probably 1 or 2 others last year, but pretty comparable to last year. But at this point, the House has, I think, truly agreed, finally passed like 104 bills or so that are just sort of sitting, glutting over in the Senate at this point. And this week they're going to take up the budget and send that over too. So it's going to be a whole lot of waiting time for all their priority bills that they've already sent over for Senate consideration. So you all know from our automated bill tracker, we're keeping track of an awful lot of bills in both chambers for you all. I think at this point there are about 75 of them. Many of those bills still either haven't been referred to a committee, had their initial public hearing in their committee, or been brought back up for a vote in their committee. So a lot of them, point is, a lot of them are still sort of stuck at or behind the committee level, the committee of origin level. So probably won't spend too much time talking about those, since they've made no progress, and at this point the clock's really ticking. I think Brian told us last week that you all may want to discuss House Bill 2761. That's Representative Banderman's solid waste bill. And I'll just start off with, so Lee Summit's own, Chris Bussin has been really one of the leaders across the state opposing this bill. We've been in touch with Chris and had a nice time meeting him in advance of the House committee hearing on this bill several weeks ago. At this point, he gave great testimony on the House side and on the Senate side in opposition. So this bill, I think you all are, or many of you are probably familiar with it at this point, generally relates to sales of properties containing solid waste disposal sites and construction landfills, addresses DNR's involvement in these, and apparently it stems from an extremely local issue in Representative Bannerman's district. And by extremely local, I mean one property belonging to a particular constituent. It's about as local as you can get. Also adjusts tipping fees. And I think most dramatically, though, and the reason there's so much attention being paid to this bill, is that it would eliminate solid waste management districts and the Solid Waste Management Advisory Committee, and then turning those duties over to DNR. This bill got a pretty rough ride on the House side in committee. Representative Banderman's a good guy, and he's a really earnest, smart, hardworking guy, and Republican member of the House, and he was getting it from all sides. There was like a little coalition of his own, party compatriots who were probably giving it to him the hardest in this hearing. So that bill was heard. What was that? That was heard late January, and it is still sitting where it was at that point. It hasn't even been brought back up for a vote. I haven't seen anything about a sub coming on this bill on the House side. So it appears to be shelved for now, that particular bill in that committee. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it starts, having a heartbeat again. But there's also its Senate companion bill, and that's Senate Bill 1586, sponsored by Senator Ben Brown, who's from the same part of the state that Representative Banderman is from. Same general cast of characters came out to oppose or to provide opposition testimony in Senate committee and Senate Agriculture, Food Production, Outdoor Resources Committee a couple weeks ago, including Chris Bustin was here for that one too. But despite all that opposition testimony, it did pass out. I think the vote was maybe 4-1 with 2 members absent or something, to get that out of Senate Ag. So that's sitting on the Senate's formal perfection calendar right now. I think it's maybe number 7 down.
Number 7, yes.
So we'll keep an eye on that one. Of course, if it gets through, if this somehow manages to get on the floor and escape the Senate, it'll still have to go through committee process on the House side. And I suspect it'll probably go back to that same committee. Yeah. Banderman's bill was heard in a month or almost 2 months ago. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll shoot y'all a note if it looks like Senator Brown's bill is going to be coming up for perfection. One way or another, if it gets time on the floor, it'll be slow, and then there'll be a whole lot of discussion on this. So again, Chris is doing a good job, and we'll just keep our arms around this one and see how much progress it makes. there any discussion or anything y'all wanted to talk about on that bill or on those two bills? Great. Another Ben Brown bill, Senate Bill 1065. This topic we've been talking about for a long time. All of the municipalities have. This is the bill requiring municipalities, counties, and MoDOT to reimburse non-rate regulated utilities, meaning telecoms. Originally, it would have required reimbursement for all costs associated with relocating their facilities to accommodate road projects. This was Senator Brown's bill was amended in committee to apply only to the labor costs associated with those relocates. And our understanding also is that the cost of the labor expenses would be capped at about 2% of the cost of the overall project by another amendment if this bill ever gets to the floor. And they were open in discussing that in committee, both I think mostly during the executive session on this. They talked about that because there were members, actually, I mean, there was the two most vocal members on this, I think, were both fellow Republicans. I think it was Senator Henderson, Senator Bernskoetter. Senator Bernskoetter voted against the bill. Senator Henderson, there's sort of this courtesy, of if it's a priority to your committee chairman, even if you're not a particular fan of something, you'll hold your nose and as a courtesy let the bill out of committee so we can get to the floor for maybe to get fixed on. And Senator Henderson said he had a lot of concerns about this particular bill, but sort of as a courtesy to the chairman, and also with the understanding that there will be an additional cap placed on these costs, he was willing to let it out of committee. The three Democratic members of this committee who were present and voting on this, all three voted in favor of the bill and letting it out. And my understanding is that it was based on the same sort of thought that they were at least in part comforted by the fact that there will be a 2% cap put on it. So if it's a $1 million road project, the cost of the relocate would be relocate labor expense reimbursement would be capped at $20,000. That's sort of how that's our understanding of how that 2% cap would work. Huge turnout of opposition in the hearing. It was practically every city in the state showed up and stood in line to speak in opposition to this. Zach testified in opposition on behalf of Lee Summit. A bunch of counties were there also. And again, I just described how it got out of committee.
I think Senator Henderson even came to me after the hearing and said, give me ammunition because I will fight this on the floor. I'm only letting this out because it's the chairman's priority to get it out. I said, not a problem.
Yeah, so this was voted out a few weeks ago, but it has not yet been reported out. It hasn't been requested to be reported out by the President Pro Tem of the Senate. I think there are still other discussions going on with some industry stakeholders before they bring that out and put it on the perfection calendar. But we'll stay on top of that one and let you know once that starts moving again. There's a House companion bill, same topic, obviously identical language. I think House Bill 2155, Representative Josh Hurlburt. That was heard. I think much less fanfare. Several weeks before 1065 was heard. That was heard in the House committee in early. I guess it was heard maybe late January. Voted out early February, and it's been referred to a House Rules Committee, which it has to get through first, but it has not progressed any farther than that. It's still awaiting a vote in rules. So maybe that one's stalled. Maybe that one's just waiting to see what happens to 1065. But at this point, those are both capped at labor-only costs. And if they move further, that cap will be placed at 2% of the total project cost. Any discussion y'all want to have on that bill? or that topic. A few other sort of what we understand to be priority areas to go through here. In our last couple calls with Brian and Crystal, Senate Bill 1087, which is sponsored by Senator Joe Nicola from Independence, was discussed. This relates to limiting driving privileges and the process for suspending a driver's driving privileges if they repeatedly fail to appear or to pay any fines or court costs, and then sort of the prerequisites for setting aside that non-compliance suspension. Our understanding is at least Summit has recently taken a supportive position on this bill, so we're watching it closely and reporting as things happen. This bill has already made it out of the Senate. It's over on the House side, and it's already been voted out of the House Special Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. So that one is chugging along. Next stop is it'll be on the floor pretty soon, most likely. That one still has plenty of time. So we'll watch it and certainly keep the team up to speed on what's going on. Senate Bill 927, sponsored by Senator Maggie Nernburn. This regulates the sale of kratom in Missouri. And it prohibits kratom products that are adulterated, that are designed to appeal to kids, that are smokable, that are sold to people under the age of 21, and that possess certain particular chemical characteristics. They'd also have, any legal product would also have to wear specified labeling that includes particular disclaimers. This bill was voted do pass out of Senate Judiciary, but it has not yet been reported out. So the Pro Tem's office has not invited that out of committee yet, even though it's been voted do pass by the committee. There are a bunch of House companion bills, most of which have not done anything. There's one sponsored by Representative Scott Cups, House Bill 3147. That one, it looked like they were scheduling that one for a hearing before spring break. I'm not sure that ever actually got its hearing one way or another, though. That one will probably be heard pretty soon on the House side in committee. We'll keep an eye on that. And we'll also keep an eye on if Senator Nernburn's bill is ever allowed to escape judiciary. House Bill 2641, sponsored by Representative Dave Hinman. This one regulates cannabis and establishes the Intoxicating Cannabinoid Control Act. That's how I'm choosing to pronounce that word. Regulates licensure facilities, excludes hemp and industrial hemp from the definition of marijuana, and addresses a bunch of provisions relating to dispensaries. That one passed out of the House by a really wide margin. It got over 100 votes in the House, and was recently voted do pass by Senate Judiciary Committee, and is currently sitting number 2 on the Senate's House bills for third reading calendar. So that one's very close to getting over the line. And then there are 2 identical bills on the House side dealing with public labor organizations. House Bills 3283, which is sponsored by Representative Chris Brown, and House Bill 3306, sponsored by Representative Nick Kimball. Representative Brown's a Republican, Representative Kimball's a Democrat from St. Louis. These would apply response time, good faith negotiation, and arbitration requirements for public employee collective bargaining discussions. There were a bunch of folks who testified, to historical horror stories about their bargaining unit being treated terribly at whatever city they were trying to work with. This got a lot of really positive, supportive, bipartisan reception in the House committee. It was a House Local Gov, and it was voted out of committee the week before spring break. So that one we'll see. That one, timing wise, since it is just barely out of committee on the House side, we'll see. Certainly not impossible for that one to go the distance, but clock's ticking for sure. But if they got that much bipartisan support in committee, would expect it to be able to get out of the House, and then we'll see what happens on the Senate side if that happens. There are a handful of other bills that have moved a little bit, not a ton, and that haven't really kind of gelled, it seems, relating to property taxes, local sales taxes, and sales tax elections, property development application processes, short-term rentals, just a handful of local government type topics. They're of course flagged in your tracker, and I think the way we have the report set up is you can see the last sort of the last action and where those bills currently sit. Just not a ton to report on any of them at this point. And really the big news item that's a kind of a general topic of interest for everybody in the state, not just Lee Summit or municipalities generally, to come out of the House right before we left for spring break was its passage of HJR 173, that sponsored by Representative Bishop Davidson, and that's the item that would put to voters the decision of potentially phasing out Missouri's individual income tax. So that will move on to the Senate now for further attention and debate. It is a top priority of the governor. He's been very public for a while now, especially kind of ramped up in recent days. Advertisements in support of this. So we expect significant activity final 8 weeks of session on this particular bill. If you're trying to decipher what's going on in your crystal ball and you're looking at the last 8 weeks and trying to decide where the Senate Republicans might deploy their one or two PQs this session, this is a top contender for the nuclear option towards the end of session. And the way they've chopped this up, so this particular HJR and what it proposes would phase out income tax based on state revenue growth, just sort of naturally occurring state revenue growth. But we would also expect sort of accelerator, not companion bills, but sort of supportive proposals to increase sales taxes and to implement new sales taxes where none currently exist, particularly on services, for instance. That's been talked about a lot. They've just rhetorically, they've tried to separate the two for purposes of the sales tax elimination discussion, because I think they're just trying to avoid putting these two conversations together, because once you do that, you're talking about shifting a tax burden, not eliminating a tax burden. But we'll see what the next couple chapters of this, how they unfold. But yeah, so HR 173, governor's top priority, or top remaining priority, is headed to the Senate, and the time is ripe for high drama the last couple months of session. So I've talked an awful lot, way more than I should have. What questions or topics would you all like to discuss?
Councilmember Shields or Councilmember Pryor, you got any questions?
I appreciate the update. Is there anything that we as a council should be taking a particular action on at this point? I mean, obviously we've made our visits and you guys are testifying on our behalf. Is there anything that we should be reaching out to our Lee Summit delegation with particular concern or?
1 second. If you all still have heartburn about the utility relocate reimbursement bill, if it's sitting number 7 on the perfection calendar, that one's probably going to get time. So if you wanted to reach out to your senators or senators. Yeah, if you wanted to contact Senator Searpoy's office, I mean, he was also the chairman of the committee that came out of, so I don't know how that'll, how effective that one will be, but that's probably the one that's got the most legs, that's most directly impacting municipalities. So just keeping that conversation going. I think at this point, a lot of opponents of that bill feel like they've got that smothered down to manageable. But no, last year, Municipal League put so much into absolutely murdering that thing that it failed on the House floor. So it's gotten farther this year than it got last year. Oh no, hold on. Nope, it has, yeah, because didn't get out of the House last year, but this time it's made it to the Senate and they've got a plan that they think might be able to get it through. Other than that, though, you want to talk about budget stuff at all?
Well, I mean, we've had conversations with the speaker, and he is trying to figure out a way to do something for Lee Summit. And I've worked with Mark and Brian on a proposal. He feels confident about it or optimistic about it, but because of the way the budget is, I'm like I told Mark and Brian and the mayor, it would be great if he was able to do something. It's going to be really tough. And there's a couple of projects that we were looking at, but the one we were focused on was the canine training facility to go along with the Joint Operations Center, but staying with the public safety side of things. And it's going to be on my it's on my list to check in today because they're going to debate the budget on the floor this week. So if something's going to happen in the House, it'll be on the floor this week. And as soon as something happens or doesn't happen, we will let everyone know. But that's really, I mean, the speaker's been great for Lee Summit the past 3 years with all the money he's put towards the Joint Operations Center, and he's trying to give it a go. Budget's just really tight this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're cutting tens of millions of dollars from what a lot of people consider to be sort of core programming.
Now, let's just say Truman State University, Dirk Deaton proposed a $27 million cut to that college.
Yeah,
they might go out of business if that stays.
Yeah,
or they may not exist anymore.
Yeah, it was interesting proposed math.
Yeah.
That affected every non-MU college, right? The college and university in the state. Yeah, so Councilmember Shields, the answer is let's keep watching 1065. And if it gets out of the Senate, you got to really bombard your reps. And the speaker. Yeah. But at this point, there is no particular action that we think is necessary.
Not at this time.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep.
And if that does happen, then if you can send us like a individual note about that, and I'd be happy to contact them as needed. So thank you.
Will do. You got it.
Yeah, Councilmember Shields will work some talking points to have them ready if that does happen, with some numbers and project impacts, things like that. That'll help.
Thanks, Crystal.
In fact, I mean, that would be great to have for us to give to Senator Henderson. I mean, I know of, and I have used it for 2 years, but the 3rd Street AT&T fiber line and that one. I've been using that one for years.
That's like something.
But if there's more, please send it our way.
Okay.
It'll go to good use.
Any other questions or topics?
Councilmember Pryor, did you have something?
Thank you, Councilmember Funk. The one about income tax, does that go to a vote, like it'll be on the ballot?
Correct. It would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then there's another one that I've been seeing just a bunch of people talking about cutting funding to parents as teachers throughout Missouri. Are you guys familiar with that?
That's not something that we've been tracking.
I mean, there was a bit, not to that program specific, but I mean, there was a cut to childcare, like a $50 million cut to childcare and childcare tax credits. I mean,
This was-
that's Dirk Deaton. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
this
the
was
fiscal
just
hawk.
last week. Great Beginnings, all the parent educators were asking people to reach out to basically John Patterson and say, don't cut funding. So I didn't know which bill was or who the sponsor of that bill was, but I can look it up.
Yeah,
that would be in House Bill 2, yeah, which would be DESE.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it sounds like a budget item, not like a policy.
Yeah, no, there's not a bill out there that I'm aware of that.
Yeah, I don't
anything
know
like
if Patterson's the target. The whole committee and subcommittee would probably be the
I mean,
target there.
It will I'm sure it will be discussed on the floor this week.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to shave over $2 billion over this year and next year. So it's just, there are no scalpels right now. It's just all just hatchets and hacksaws.
It really makes you wonder why they're trying to cut income tax when we're already trying to cut that much. Obviously, yeah.
Some questions for sure.
These are all $1 million questions that everyone keeps asking.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I guess it's the $1 billion question.
Nothing for our lobbyists. We will move on. Thank you guys for updating us and always showing up for us, and great work we did in DC. I think we left there happy.
Yeah, people say this a lot, but it really is a pleasure working with y'all.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it very much.
No, thank you guys. We will move on to our roundtable. Anything from the committee? Councilmember Pryor, Councilmember Shields for roundtable?
Nothing for me, thanks.
From staff, any roundtable?
Just figuring out when to have the next meeting. I think we're the third Monday, but we moved it this time. Yeah, so it would be April 20th. Should we hold off? Do the election?
Gina, what will happen is once Mayor Pro Tem makes the appointments, the clerk will reach out to each of the committee chairs and work with them to set a date.
Okay, so no date in April at this time.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and hold our regular date on the calendar just in case that still works, but yeah.
What's the regular date? The 20th?
20th.
Okay. All right.
When
Anything
is
else?
Sine Die?
21st.
First. Okay. So we would still be in the same committees until then, right? Do we want to still have the committee meeting?
We're still in this year, still before Sine Die. I keep thinking you're after because it's late this year. Yeah, you can still have your meeting. I forgot. Sorry, that's my fault.
So should we put that? Does that work for everybody? Is that April 20th? We just leave that on the calendar?
Works
Maybe
for me.
leave it, but email the chair and the mayor to make sure since they weren't here today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from staff?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Chair.
We will adjourn this meeting at 12:25. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.